Salman and Priya's story could have been a Bollywood film, a chance meeting, stolen glances, and secret rendezvous. They fell in love. But this wasn't a movie. Their story unfolded in Uttar Pradesh, a state often caught in the throes of religious tensions. Their different faiths became the crux of a legal battle when Salman was accused of Love Jihad and sentenced to life imprisonment. Priya, a Hindu woman, had converted to Islam before their marriage. This conversion became the central point of contention. The case sent shockwaves through India, igniting debates about religious freedom, individual choice, and the very nature of love in a diverse society. Was Salman truly guilty, or a victim of societal divisions? The fight was far from over. The term Love Jihad is itself controversial. It suggests a planned strategy by Muslim men to marry Hindu women solely for conversion. Critics argue there is no evidence of any such organized effort. They see it as a way to demonize Muslim men and create fear among Hindus. Despite the lack of evidence, the idea of love jihad has gained traction. It is used by some political groups to further their agendas. This has led to a climate of fear and suspicion. Interfaith couples often face societal pressure and even threats. The Indian legal system does not recognize love jihad as a crime. However, some states have enacted laws to prevent forced conversions, often criticized for being vaguely worded. The debate around love jihad reflects deeper anxieties about religious identity in a diverse country. At the heart of this case lies the Uttar Pradesh Prohibition of Unlawful Conversion of Religion Act, 2020. This law prohibits conversions by misrepresentation, force, undue influence, coercion, allurement, or by any fraudulent means. While the law itself doesn't mention love jihad, its interpretation in this case has raised concerns. The court relied heavily on the testimonies of Priya's family, who claimed she was coerced into conversion. They alleged that Salman had hidden his true religious identity and lured Priya into a relationship with the sole intention of converting her. Critics argue that the court focused solely on the conversion aspect without considering the broader context of Salman and Priya's relationship. The terms coercion and allurement are vaguely defined, leaving them open to interpretation and potential misuse. This lack of clarity creates an environment of fear and uncertainty for interfaith couples. Section 4. Inside the courtroom. The courtroom was tense as Salman and Priya's families sat on opposite sides of the aisle. The prosecution argued that Salman had tricked Priya using a fake name and pretending to be Hindu. They presented witnesses who claimed Salman had boasted about converting Priya to Islam. Priya's family testified that she was a naive girl who had been manipulated. Salman's defense team countered that the relationship was consensual. They argued that she had converted to Islam of her own free will. The judge, known for his conservative stance, seemed unconvinced by the defense. The verdict sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Salman was sentenced to life imprisonment. The case became a rallying point for right-wing Hindu groups who celebrated the judgment. At Section 5, a nation divided. The verdict in Salman and Priya's case ignited a firestorm of debate across India. Social media platforms became battlegrounds for opposing viewpoints. Hashtags like Love Jihad and Justice for Salman trended for days, reflecting the polarized opinions on the issue. Right-wing Hindu groups hailed the verdict as a victory against what they perceived as a growing threat to their religion. They organized rallies and celebrations, praising the court for upholding Hindu values. On the other side, liberals and human rights activists condemned the verdict as a miscarriage of justice. They argued that the court had succumbed to societal pressure and ignored the fundamental rights of individuals to choose their partners and religion freely. The verdict, far from healing divisions, seemed to exacerbate them, leaving many questioning the future of interfaith relationships in India. Section 6. Love in the Time of Laws. Salman and Priya's case is not an isolated incident. It represents a growing trend in India where love across religious lines is increasingly viewed with suspicion and hostility. The rise of religious nationalism has created an environment where interfaith couples are often seen as a threat to the social fabric. This climate of fear has a chilling effect on interfaith relationships. Couples are often forced to choose between their love and their families. The use of laws like the Uttar Pradesh prohibition of unlawful conversion of religion Act 2020 further complicates matters. While these laws are meant to prevent forced conversions, their vague wording and potential for misuse create a legal minefield for interfaith couples. The right to love and marry freely, regardless of religious differences, is a fundamental human right that needs to be protected. Section 7. The uncertain future of interfaith love. The verdict in Salman and Priya's case has cast a long shadow on the future of interfaith relationships in India. It has created a sense of fear and uncertainty among those who dare to love across religious boundaries. The case highlights the challenges faced by a diverse society grappling with its own internal divisions. Critics argue that the court, instead of upholding the principles of equality and freedom of choice, seem to validate the prejudices of a section of society. The future of interfaith love in India hangs in the balance. It remains to be seen whether the country will embrace its diversity and create a society where love knows no bounds, or succumb to the forces of division and intolerance. The choice is ours to make.